Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Saturday morning, so you know it's time for another live edition of the Extra Point. PL Culture in the house. Tasha T Sizzle live on location. Tasha, where are you on your uh,
I,
milestone
I am
tour?
I am in we're almost downtown Nashville. This is the Gulch. I'm here at the Music City Marathon. My daughter is not running. If anyone was wondering, she has to have surgery, so she's not running. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm sitting out here looking at all the people, all the runners out here celebrating, getting crunk out here.
All right, getting crunk in the club. Are you going to participate at any point? Do you have your running shoes on today, Tasha?
Shit, no,
All right, nice toes, nice pedicure. You know what? Don't distract me. You know how I am about the toes.
I'm a sucker for cornrows and manicured toes.
That was the hardest bar he ever spit because that is so true. All right, Tasha, the NFL draft is entering day 3 today. It actually starts here in about an hour, starting with rounds 4 and going through 7 to complete the draft. Shedeur Sanders, let's just get right to it, is still on the board. On a scale of 1 to 10, how surprised are you that Shedeur hadn't been drafted yet?
I'm I'm in shock and awe. If that, I'm speechless because what they are doing to him is absolutely disrespectful. It's petty, beyond petty, and y'all know I'm really petty. It's
Petty LaBelle.
beyond it's beyond petty, and it's beyond reprieve at this point. And as we were talking offline, if he does get drafted, I'm waiting for that press conference because I want to hear that GM lie and tell us why they didn't take him in an earlier round.
My thoughts exactly, and way to open the show strong. Good morning, Farrah. Farrah, I got smoke with you. I'm going to put this link in the comments because I want you to come on here and defend yourself because I really blame you, Farrah. And good morning to you. Or is it? It's a good morning. It's going to be a great morning once everything gets popping. You see the link in there, Farrah. If you're so brave enough to accept this challenge, I want you to jump on here so I can talk to you in the whites of your eyes. Tasha T. Sizzle, there were 5 quarterbacks taken in the draft so far on the first 2 days. Cam Ward, number 1. Jackson Dart, number 25. On Thursday, Tyler Schroe, who's how old is he, Tasha?
Well, motherfucker, at least 47. Ain't nobody gonna tell me no different. But he's
Okay,
technically supposed to be 26 this year.
technically, I'm gonna air quote that. Alabama's Jalen Milroe was taken in the 3rd round, as was Dylan Gabriel, who, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, he is the Hunter Dickinson of college football. Played 6 7 years, and the team didn't even sniff a championship. Didn't even sniff one. Just marginal at best. And this is no disrespect to any of those quarterbacks I just named. Congratulations to you. You a dream realized. And this isn't about you. This is about the underlying tones that are going on with Deion Sanders and the Sanders family. Um, Tasha, let me rattle off some stats for you. 50 games played in 4 seasons. Talking about Shador. 70% completion rate. Last year, his 2 years of at Colorado, 71.8, which is an FBS record for completion percentage. 14,353 yards, 134 touchdowns to just 27 interceptions. Let's juxtapose that to Jalen Milroe, who had 11 interceptions this season and lost to a beat up Michigan and Vanderbilt team. Come on, Tasha. Like, we're looking at the numbers here. We're looking, and I know that Mike, and shouts out to Michigan Mike. He said that he didn't think that Shedeur was an NFL quarterback. He was a college quarterback, which I get that. That's your opinion.
Okay,
Go
but
ahead.
if he's not an NFL quarterback, these other ones are.
That's my question. Is Jalen Milroe a 3rd round pick, given what we saw from him the last 2 years?
Now the only one that I could see maybe is the guy from Old Piss
Yes, Jackson Dart.
because I know his coach and I know how Lane Kiffin thinks, so I can get that because I know he was coached well. But if we're
Yes,
going to just compare, and I think I told you this, if you're comparing Jackson Dart to Shador Sanders, Dart had a hell of a line.
yes,
Shador didn't have a line. He was
right.
fighting for his life both seasons he was there, he had a better line at Jackson State. Let's just go and say that. He had a
That's
better
real.
line at Jackson State.
That's real.
But he's the only one that I would say, okay, was going in front of Shedeur. But the rest of these guys, no, it's no way in hell. So for Mike to say, oh, he's not an NFL quarterback, but you talk so bad about Jalen Milroe when Michigan was dragging his ass in the Rose Bowl. So you saying Jalen Milroe is NFL caliber?
Right.
Oh, you can work with Jalen Milroe. That's what they say. Oh, he can be developed. And that's what they're saying with Jalen Milroe. He can be developed, but you can't develop Shedeur because he's a pure pocket passer.
Hey,
I mean,
Tasha, go ahead. No, finish that thought.
I mean, I put him kind of like in the mind of a CJ Stroud, where CJ Stroud ain't burning up nobody's 40 time. CJ Stroud is a pocket passer. Jalen Hurts is a pocket passer.
Right.
But they run when needed. So you're telling me you don't think Shedeur could drop back? Or let me guess, it's the two pats on the ball that's making him not an NFL worthy or caliber quarterback. And y'all, and I'm not just like the biggest Shedeur Sanders fan, but what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong, and what they're doing to him is wrong.
Okay, so let's go with let's get into that, because one of the buzzwords, and I'm using buzzwords very loosely because I'm trying to build up to a slow burn here. One of the buzzwords that we kept hearing is arrogance. Tasha, let me ask you this. What is the difference between confidence and arrogance?
I don't really think there is one. I'm just saying.
Here's why I ask you that, because I'm in Dallas, Texas, and I've been here for the entirety of Luka Doncic's career, and everybody is still mad about him being traded. And one thing that the organization, really the face of it being Nico Harrison, the general manager, but really the organization said that it wasn't his play on the court. It was his attitude. It was his aloofness. It was his lack of conditioning, lack of taking the job seriously, the not training, the not being in shape, the drinking, the smoking, the hookah, the kind of, lascivious living in the off season and coming in out of shape. And the immediate pushback from nationally, but really locally, was, but he got you to the NBA finals. But he's a baller, but he's a first team all NBA. Tasha, you were saying for years, man, that boy ain't taking this game serious. Look at him. He's out of shape. He's fat. He's huffing and puffing. He's crying for fouls. He's very brash and shit talkative on the court. We've all seen it, and he's praised for that. Oh, that Luka, when he crossed up Gobert for the 3 in the playoffs last year. Oh, he's a dog. Oh, but with Shedeur, oh yeah, he's okay. I mean, he's good on the field. Yeah, I'm looking at these numbers: 14,000 yards, 137 touchdowns, just 27 interceptions, turning around 2 programs. But I don't like his attitude, Tasha. I have a problem with that.
I do too. I have a big problem with that. Again, these are the same people that, and we said this on Thursday night, when Baker Mayfield was doing all of that shit he was doing, he just got a pat on the back, a tap on the wrist. When they said slap on the wrist. And nobody said anything else about it. Now you got his daddy out here stealing his damn money.
Running from the police.
You running from the police. You got kicked out of a school. Last time I remember Shedeur didn't get kicked out of a school. All he did was get up there and do his watch like this. And y'all got a problem with that. Now, I'm glad Jarrell is here, because when I was listening to Against the Grain, a show which he is on, Jody had alluded to something. Jody, the host, he alluded to some things that Shedeur had said about having jewelry in a bag, which I didn't hear. So, Jarrell, if you know that, put that in the comments so we'll know more about that. Even so, I'd rather have somebody walking around talking about my jewelry in my bag than running from the police.
Running from the police, that's right.
Now, wasn't he drunk and he peed? Wasn't that?
Yes, and then he tried to evade and run away, and then they caught him and subdued him. He was in cuffs on the sidewalk, like you may have seen in any neighborhood, in any city across America. So shouts out.
But that's okay.
No,
but that's okay.
Very okay. And he says, bottom line, you don't piss off the mafia, aka the NFL. Tasha,
but Jarrell, what pissed them off? That's what I don't understand. What did he do that pissed these people, him or his dad? What did they do that was so bad that he is getting this type of vitriol from the league?
Right.
That's all I want to know.
Right, and the word that was used, and Stephanie Coulter, good morning, and Stiana Fernandez, good morning. I'm going to come to you with y'all comments because y'all making some good points. But Tasha, you used a word earlier in the pre-roll before we went live, and the word was celebrated. This is being celebrated like Obama won the election type celebration on social media. Why are people so happy to see this kid? And the word I'm going with this because Stephanie used the word humbling, and that's what's coming to mind that he's being humble. Why is that being so celebrated?
But why does he need to be humbled? So is he getting? He's being humbled because he came from affluence. That's not fair. No one can help where they're born. What does Steph say? Right,
What
exactly. Do other than being the Sanders. And the last time I checked, Brian was beloved. Who hated Dion? When he was running it back, Brian running it back and high stepping, we were all cheering for all of that. So
Mhm.
now things that his father has done and said, oh, now that's the problem. Dion, well, Brian been popping shit since he left Florida State. Since
Right.
he was at Florida, since he was down there in Florida where he's from. He's
Remember
been
the
popping
picture?
shit.
Remember his picture of getting off the plane in Atlanta?
So
Change.
it's like he's been that way. So now all of a sudden, that his son is at the epitome, the top of where he should be taking over the Sanders name. Now y'all want to knock him down because y'all mad at his dad?
Right, and that's what it sounds like. Now, Stiana says, all I got to say is Colin Kaepernick, followed up with
It
this. If they can blackball him, they can do it to anyone.
Yep. It is the 2025 version of Colin Kaepernick because they don't like what you stand for or what you do. And he's not even taking any type of political stand. He's
Right.
just being himself.
He's
So
just a
it's
kid.
so
Right.
he's just a kid. So it's okay for some of these others to be themselves and still get drafted. But Shedeur can't be himself because he's a Sanders and get drafted.
Right.
That's
No
bullshit.
off-field incidents. Good morning, Melanie Taylor. No off-field incidents. No issues with school. No issues with women. No baby mamas lurking in the background. No sexual assault allegations. No, none of that. No disrespecting teachers. Nothing like we haven't seen anything that shows a defiance to authority. Now,
The
yes,
only game he missed was because he was injured. Not like Johnny Manziel, who I love, who missed his first game because he was acting a fool.
and let's keep it real. Johnny Manziel and Josh Gordon, they had a trap house
Mm-hmm.
in
Sure
Cleveland.
did.
They had a trap
Sure
house
did.
in
That's
Cleveland.
basically in an apartment like this here. That's where they live in an apartment, and it was a trap house
A deluxe apartment getting high,
in
high, high.
in the sky.
Now Kenny, I'm gonna jump in and good morning, Kenny. He says Warren Moon passed his number one down to Cam Ward, which he did. But Tasha, though, the reason why I want to broach this for a quick second is because as a Titans fan, now I'm worried. Look, this was supposed to be a two-man race, or really a three-man race if you count Jackson Dart, because he does have the stature and the coaching acumen to be a quality NFL quarterback. I had no issues with Jackson Dart going ahead of Shedeur because to your point that you made in the chat a couple of days ago, he's more athletic, and that's a tiebreaker in today's NFL. You got to be able to run
Mm-hmm.
from these quick edge rushers. I get that, but Tennessee was quarterback needy. Obviously, they read the tea leaves that nobody. Obviously, we see now nobody was trading up for that number one pick to take a damn
Mm-hmm.
quarterback. So, like, are we just stuck with Cam Ward? Like, we're like, what do you do? Like, we tried to get a trade going, and nobody bit, obviously. And now I feel like we kind of stuck. I hope that's not the case with Cam Ward. I hope he's really a legit number one.
But I don't see I don't see why you're worried. Like I think Cam Ward is that. I
Okay,
think because he's smart enough. He's especially coming from where he came from. Remember, I sent you that meme how they were talking about DJ Ukulele with all these different stars, and look where he is now. He ain't on nobody's draft board. He got down there to Florida State, and we ain't hear from him again.
right.
Uh, from where he came from, that boy, he worked hard. He went from a zero to what a junior college, then another college, smaller college, to Washington State, and then on to Miami with a terrible line
Right.
and still put up decent numbers. He made a few decisions, and I'm kind of like, oh, don't do that. But at the end of the day, I think Cam is a worthy number one, and I think he'll do good. And especially the Titans seem like they want him to do good.
No,
They're trying to get him some pieces.
right,
Go ahead.
right. No. You're cooking. And the now he did say a couple of things in his introductory press conference that rubbed me the wrong way. First of all, and this goes back to my confidence versus arrogance, and where's the line of demarcation there. Warren
I'm
Moon,
listening.
Hall of Famer Warren Moon, flew in to surprise Cam Ward to basically hand over the reins of the number one jersey to him. He introduced him to the Tennessee press. He basically said, "Hey, I'm here. I'm available as a resource. If you need anything, you can always reach out to me, talk to me." He praised him, built him up. Cam Ward came on right behind him, and when they asked him about the importance of the number one jersey, he said, I'm paraphrasing, but I'm 95% spot on with what he said. He said, "Oh, it's just a number." I asked him if he said no, then it's like, come on, man, read the room.
Well, this is the thing, because when you said that, you had some words, and I was like, I didn't see the press conference. And then when I turned on ESPN last night, I did see it. I don't think that's the way it meant to come out. I think he meant, yeah, the number one is good to have, but if I don't put these numbers up, what does the number mean? I don't think
Right.
he got it. I don't think he got it out that way. But I didn't take that as a slight. But when I saw it, I said, this is what Paul was talking about. I don't think that's what he meant, or
And
either
I'm gonna
meant it
give
to
you
come
that.
out that way.
And I'll give you that. But then there was later on in that interview, they were one of the media members said, "Okay, so you're looking at a lineage here in with this franchise of Warren Moon, Steve McNair. Do you think that puts any pressure on you to kind of hold that mantle as the face of a franchise?" He was basically like, "Oh, that was the Houston Oilers. Like, I'm a Tennessee
I
Titan. That's
mean,
different now."
Warren Moon did say that. He said mine was in Houston. So
Read the room.
it's the
Like,
drink of the moon. He said it himself. He said, well, I don't mind. He said, because my number's retired in Houston.
right. But the thing is
Warren Moon was,
that you
I think
had
you're reading too much into it.
you had 2 months, but this is going back to my point of confidence versus arrogance. You had 2 months knowing that you were going to be the Tennessee Titans pick. Like, you have to understand who Warren Moon and who Steve McNair are. Without no Warren Moon, you're not standing on the podium as the number one pick as a black quarterback.
We get that, but I think this generation is not as connected to old players as we are. We
Right.
go back. We're into that. I don't think he did that, but I do know anytime you already know you going number one, they've been telling you going number one. The tears that boy cried, it meant a lot to him. It
I'm
meant a
just
lot.
saying
So I don't take that as him slighting the Titans or slighting Moon, and definitely not slighting Air McNair, RIP. I
because
don't
it
take it
goes
that
back
way.
to my thing of arrogance versus confidence. Because had Shedeur Sanders been drafted number one overall and he dismissed Warren Moon in that, it would have been totally taken a different way. Good morning, Jody Coleman in the house. Make sure y'all check out Against the Grain Sports today. Stephanie says something a memo in the offices, all the officers, the draft doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make
It
sense.
doesn't. It doesn't.
I think Cam is going to be all right. I do too, but it goes back to my point of if Shedeur says that, it's on Sports Center. It's the leadoff segment. Oh, he wasn't deferential to
I
Warren
mean,
Moon.
but why would they put it on there? They didn't even put his interview up there when he got drafted when he was crying. So why they want to put everything up there now? Y'all want to just put all the negative shit on there, but don't want to put the positive on there.
Right, Jody says Google is free research. Like, man, like for real, man.
Jody, come on, Jody. Jody, you see me. I am out here in this freezing cold at a marathon, and you can't put that information up there for me. I'm sorry, Jody. I was about to go off. But Jody,
Right,
I asked you something when you said about Shedeur saying something about his jewelry's in his bag or something like that. Can you elaborate if you're still on here?
Yeah, please, because we want to jump back into that, and not to digress
But,
because
but,
this
but,
does tie into Shedeur. Now,
but
Melanie
back
said,
to Jody's point about Google, my daughter doesn't Google. A lot of these children today don't Google like we do.
now, Melanie asked a great question. She says, does his age factor into his responses? He probably needs to hire a publicist. That was my point, that if you're going to be the face of a franchise, somebody on your team needs to give you some intel on the state of affairs there. Because I think
Congratulations, y'all. That's a runner on my podcast. He ran.
All right,
Congratulations.
congratulations. I think
I
that
don't
as
know
a
where
face
I'm
of
get
a
shot now.
franchise, you missed a moment, Cam Ward, to really to really highlight. And the thing is, it's the same thing that people argue about in the NBA with their lack of respect for the older players. I just thought that was a moment missed by him, and I root for him to succeed.
These new generation of kids and people, they're not on that how we are. Like we know what, like we weren't born in Jim Crow era. We were born in the 70s. But we still live and breathe some of that. These children today are so detached from racism and what it means to be the first black to do this and the first black to do that. They're not as invested in that as we are. And that's why another thing I hate with this new administration taking away black history, because that's what they want you to be. They want you to be ignorant so you don't know. And that's what is going on with these children now. They don't want to know. They don't care because they're getting theirs.
Right. Okay. So speaking of that, I'm glad you parked your plane there. He also said when they asked him who he looked up to, he says, "I don't look up to nobody. I want people to look up to me."
Sound like Willie Beeman.
My name is Willie Beeman.
Willie Beeman. When he hit
that Morning AP Culture. Jody says at the combine he didn't throw, but was talking how much his jewelry cost, and that was in his bag at his press conference. Let's transition back to Shedeur. That's the problem. They need to Google stuff.
But they don't Google.
I'm just saying. Look, I'm just saying that was a moment missed, Cam, and you better ball out the way you came in, acting like the past history doesn't matter, because there is no black quarterback as the #1 overall pick without Warren Moon. Doing what he did in Canada, and not playing safety or wide receiver, not
even getting drafted. Y'all, we have to remember, right. Warren Moon didn't even get drafted. Then he win the Rose Bowl when he was at Washington, and then he had to go to Canada and win the Grey Cup before they even gave him a chance to play.
Right.
He already had miles and years on his body before he even got to the league.
So Ferris says, "Sorry, Paul, no link, no worries." I know you're ducking this smoke because you part of the problem. You were a celebrator of Shedeur's fall. Natasha, let me go here real quick. The Baltimore Ravens yesterday, when we're talking about red flags and talent versus off the field issues, the Baltimore Ravens last night drafted Marshall edge rusher Mike Green in the 2nd round with not one but 2 sexual assault cases in his past. One was from high school. The other one was at Virginia, which caused him to transfer to Marshall. Ravens general manager Eric DeCosta defended the pick last night, even while current kicker Justin Tucker is under investigation for sexual misconduct. Explain that, Tasha.
But all Shedeur did was wave his watch and brag about his jewelry in his bag at a press conference while he didn't throw. That's all I got to say.
2 sexual assault cases, and one in high school, one in college. But you did your due diligence, and you thought it was still worthy of a 2nd-round pick with all of those red flags, and with your current kicker under investigation for sexual misconduct. The fake outrage regarding Shedeur's character and that being the reason why he's falling. Like I'm giving you hot off the presses, is on ESPN.com, one of the league stories. Go check that out. Warren Moon is the only African-American quarterback in the Hall of Fame. Somebody come down Jody's road and throw him a ticker tape parade. Like Cam Ward.
Jody. Come on, Jody.
If you get on your hands and knees and pray to every God that you consider real and reality, that you will have half the career as a Warren Moon or Steve McNair. Let's not do that. I'm just saying that rubbed me the wrong way.
These kids just don't know, because they don't do research. Our generation, remember, y'all, we had the Dewey Decimal System. We had to go to the library and pull stuff out and do research. So when we got Google, we was like, oh, this is easy. Yeah. These kids today are too lazy to even Google stuff.
It's free and it's your friend. Paul Research, I love true reporters. I mean, that's what me and Tasha that's what we kind of do. And you do the same, Jody. That's why
Jody be deep. When I watch his show, I be like, damn.
It was one show that Against the Grain was doing where I had to comment. I was like, that's why I rock with y'all show, because y'all get into the weeds. You know what I'm saying? Like they peel back the onion and that you get that good aroma. You smell that celery and that parsley and that dressing. All right, I digress. But Baltimore, but Shedeur, Dylan Gabriel,
Um, Come
Jalen
on,
Milroe,
y'all cannot justify anybody after what's his name from Ole Miss. Y'all can't justify any pick after that for
right,
taking them over Shador to me. Like I
right.
said, I want to see that first press conference from whatever team takes Shador, and I want to hear them lie as to why they didn't take him earlier.
Right.
I
Now,
want to hear that.
Solo Sports says these young Thundercats don't respect their legends, and I think we see that across the board. And to Tasha's point, and the reason why I was bringing that up is that we could parse out a clip here, a clip there, just like I did with Cam Ward to make it something that it's not. But ultimately, his play on the field has got me to where I'm like, okay, I didn't like when he said that, but dog it, I'm gonna have that #1 jersey, and I'm gonna be rooting for him, and I want him to have a Hall of Fame career. AP checking in. She says, y'all were raised differently. Not one of your generation would have let anything that wasn't humbling or thanking God and family and the breakthrough come first out of y'all's mouth. That is true. I
Right.
am a product of my upbringing, and AP culture is a big part of that. So I will give Cam a pass on that. I am rooting for him to succeed. I'm just pointing out that he says confident statements. Shedeur makes
Shador says
arrogant statements.
arrogant statement.
And we know what
But
that buzzword is.
But if you would go back and watch the banter between Cam and Shador because they're friends, Cam was on Shador's ass.
Yes.
He called him even though they were playing, he was calling him soft. He was calling him everything. Cam is about that life. I can tell you that much.
But here's the thing. I want my quarterback to be confident. Hell, I don't even care if you call my quarterback arrogant. Long as you moving that ball up and down the damn field, you can call me what you want. Call me what you want. As long as as the ref is doing this, I don't give a
That's
damn
all
what you say.
I don't care what you say. Y'all can put
Oh,
Mike
wait a
Vick
minute.
back there. Y'all know I love dog. Y'all can put Mike Vick back there and I ain't gonna say nothing.
Right, and I'm a dog lover too. Shouts out to Buster, may he rest in peace. But I would let Mike Vick in for the Thanksgiving dinner. Now, Farrell
Y'all
says arrogance
breathe.
versus confidence. The difference is bragging.
It's no difference. If you confident, you still gonna go out there and tell people what you doing. You confident in your apples, right? And you and shit. What's your wife's name? First in the tip of my tongue, like I don't know her name. Brittany. No, wait a minute. Anyway, you confident in y'all baked treats and y'all sweets that you putting out. When you advertising, are you bragging? Brandy. Oh my God, I'm sorry. You in Brandy's business where you sell your apples and all your sweet treats. Y'all are very confident in what you put out there, in the product that you put out there. So when you put it in your stories, you guys are advertising this as a business. So aren't you not bragging on what you do and what you make?
Well, she says she don't brag. I don't. I see. This is part of my befuddlement with the whole Shedeur angle and confidence versus bragging. Um, what did he brag about? I mean, he's got. I mean, who don't know he got money? Who don't know his daddy's a millionaire? And I'm starting
I
to
mean,
see.
if you going well off media, Dion even says that even the baby got on a little change.
Right. If you're going to, oh, but hold on. Let's see. Langston jumping in. He says, "I wish we would just be honest. Let's put this uppity Negro in his place. Look, I have faced this ish in corporate America. That is why I walked away and started building my own dreams." Langston, to your point, I had a question here for Tasha. Let's say your colleague at work, whatever our occupation is, your colleague at work or your direct report, if you're a manager or a supervisor, is the son of a millionaire. There's going to be some sort of resentment to the way, because you know that you can't control him with that paycheck, that the check to check mindset allows people to put up with stuff they wouldn't normally do because they have a responsibility to their homes and their families. That we've all been there to when we ate a little crow or didn't cuss somebody TF out for being disrespectful to us because you're thinking about Sasha, you're thinking about your rent, you're thinking about your mortgage, you're thinking about your light bill, your baby needs shoes. We've all been there. Everybody in this chat has had to
And
eat
you
a
need
little
some
crow.
new teeth.
Right, right, and you need some teeth to go home and brush that tooth. If you'd have won, we'd have paid you.
You lost. You take your big ass home and brush that too.
Martrice, good morning, Martrice. She says exactly, Tasha. I saw all the banter between the two. Cam went in. He did. And Cam is my quarterback now. She says, I'll let my product speak, but I just gave you the stats, y'all. 50 starts in 4 seasons, 70% completion rate, which is the FBS record, 14,353 yards, 134 touchdowns, 27 interceptions. Let me ask you this, Tasha. You put these numbers on Arch Manning in 2 years when he comes out the draft. Where's he going?
They're going to draft him in December.
Right, early enrollment.
He getting drafted, and they're going to start with the number 2 pick in the national. Hey,
come on here, Farrah, from our take.
And I'll be down there. I'll be down there in October. So have me some apples ready.
Farrah, you jump on in here with the confidence versus arrogance. Come on in here. You speak your piece.
You've been waiting on me, huh?
I've been waiting for so long.
You see, he baited you in as soon as you commented. He's like, "Here's the link, Farrah."
I'm like, I still got sleep in my eyes. I'm trying to wake up.
Oh no, you're gonna wake up. You go now. Girl says we all.
But no, the confidence and arrogance. No, I think it's a big difference in confidence and arrogance. You can be confident all day, just like your boss at work. They got to be confident in what they do, but you don't want no damn arrogant ass boss. You don't want anyone who's going to be out here thinking they know too much. They do too much. I need somebody confident because I need you to know your position. I need you to know your job. I need you to be able to lead me. But that confident person, don't you hate him? Didn't I hate somebody at work? And it was because of his arrogance. It's arrogance versus brag. I promise you, there's a big difference. When you start bragging and boasting, you don't have to brag. Let your numbers, yes, all of this. Some people can do it. It is very stereotypical. He should be able to do it just like the next man, Johnny Manziel, everyone else. But we're talking about a powerhouse let's be real. This is a black family thinking they're about to come into the NFL and take over because that's what they see this as. They're afraid of this. Do you know the power that Deion has? This isn't so much about Shedeur. This is about you're not about to come in my league thinking you're going to take it. You ain't LeBron. We ain't going to let you do this here.
Farrah, you just said the key word.
Period. Fear. If nobody want to face it, fear. That's exactly what this is all about.
Farrah, that was an excellent point made, and I agree with you 1,000%. And let's circle back to that because Farrah, you did raise a good point. Tasha, elaborate on that F word she just dropped.
And again, I say what I want to say. We ain't after dark, but I'm just gonna try to keep it
We're stepping in today. Go ahead.
It's white America's worst nightmare. I don't know what it is about certain aspects of black people that white people hate so fucking much. What the fuck did we ever do to y'all? This boy
is going to be an owner one day.
And the thing is, like y'all know, like I said, I'm not just like the biggest Shedeur fan because I did have my issues with Deion when he left Jackson State, and I didn't want him to be hired by Jackson State. So I will admit that I'm not the biggest proponent of certain things that Deion did, but I'm rooting for everybody black, and y'all know that. But what they're doing to this kid, regardless of what he said, to allow him to not even be drafted in the first 3 days is some bullshit. And it got to be another reason other than being arrogant, as Farrah just said it. It's fear, and like everybody's put in these comments, it's hatred towards a black quarterback and a black affluent family. Because you're not going to hear this about Art. Peyton Manning was at Tennessee mooning people. He got charged with allegedly doing something to a massage therapist in the fucking UT.
He did.
Training room. But then y'all mad because Charles Woodson won the Heisman over here. And they had a whole I hate Charles Woodson campaign, how these fucking rednecks did against Charles Woodson. So you can't have it both ways. Y'all are sitting up here because y'all say he's arrogant. He's like, okay, fuck it, we know this. He rich, the boys got money. But y'all trying to prove a point by not drafting him is really showing your redness. It's showing that you got that hood on up under that suit.
I think it was on Project 2025. I think it was on page 300 of Project 2025. I'm
No, now the Jody is circling back to a word that we were using in the pre-roll of celebrating. Why is this being so celebrated, Farrah?
Because of the hate. We love the love is fake. The hate is real.
Wait a minute, say that one more time, Farrah. Say that one more time.
The love is fake, but the hate be so real. That's all it is. We love to see each other downfall. Even if you don't, even if you want him to succeed, we love that type of drama. Everyone loves it. They want to see how long. Right now, people want to see how long if he don't get drafted. That's what they want to see. Straight free agent.
Did y'all see how somebody even prank called it? Like that's petty. And I'm all here for the jokes and yeah. But this it's a level of petty that it's not even necessary this time.
Let me ask y'all a question, and I'm tearing up my own show, and I don't even care because I'm so upset about this. I woke up, I was pissed last night. Do you guys think after 32 teams have skipped him twice, or 3 or 4 times, what chance does he really have?
I don't think he's getting drafted today.
I don't think he's going to get drafted today.
That's what Paul said.
Even if he does, because at this point it's a wrap. Even if he does, will he get cut? Who's gonna actually keep him? What right now? What would you be thinking if you should do it? Would you even want to play? I would be so mentally, and I think this is part of the plan. He's gonna have to be really mental. I wouldn't want to play for people who don't want me. The whole league said they don't want you.
I even told Paul they would be petty enough to draft Shiloh first.
That's exactly what I said last night.
And I agree with that. And it's all about sending a message. Now, me and Tasha was talking about this. And Jarrell, before I get to that, Jarrell says, we all know when you have a job interview, you can't act like an N-word until you get hired. See, I got to push back on that because nobody has really put pen to paper on what type of disrespect he did in his interview. We had anonymous quotes come out that he was unprofessional and arrogant. But that goes back to what was arrogant about what he said. Did he say, I don't want to play for y'all? Like, give me specifics before I can go to the fact that he was being an N-word. And that's coming through the prism of white eyes, Jarrell. Let's be real. And that's what it is. But, I mean, we shall see. I would like to have more details on what exactly did he do in his interviews to make him fall to the 4th round and beyond. Stephanie says, if I'm good at what I do, I'm talking big ish and dare anybody to say something. You do have to back up that confidence with productivity and the results on the field wherever. I get that, and I read off his stats. It wasn't like he had Jalen Milroe stats and coming in. No disrespect to Jalen Milroe.
I mean that's the thing. Y'all think he's arrogant, draft him, and then when he get out there and fall on his face, then you say, "See, I told you." But y'all not even giving this man a chance.
They don't want to give him a chance. You can compare this to, I mean, you're looking at social media. I'm seeing all these different networks. I mean, they're even comparing this to Colin Kaepernick.
Hey, guys, we got another racer. Congratulations. This is my
podcast. Right, where'd it go?
Well, why you ain't running?
Okay, Cakes.
First of all, wait a minute. Let me address both of y'all. First of all, Farrah, stay out of my business, okay? I can barely walk without having to pee. So stay out of my business. And you, Paul, this ain't what this is for. We're not gonna objectify women on this right here.
We're gonna call her Little Debbie. We call her Little Debbie real quick because I'll see some cakes. Now, Melanie brings up a point that I literally asked Tasha this morning before the show. She says, I can't wait to hear Deion speak on this. He is a show off, but he keeps it 100. I asked Tasha, is Deion gonna take the high road? And Tasha, what was your answer?
No.
Well, no, you said it's Prime gonna take the high road, and I said Prime wouldn't, but Deion will.
Okay, and I love that answer. Farrah, do you agree? Is Deion gonna take the high road, or is Prime gonna show up and talk his you know what?
I think it's gonna be whichever one Shedeur tells him he can let loose. Because if he does too much, he's gonna hurt him even worse.
That's true.
As if it can get worse. If he goes crazy, I know he's turning tables over there in Canton. I know he's turning tables right now. But what are you supposed to do? Make it worse? Make phone calls? You clearly can't make no calls in the league. I mean, this is clearly just a punishment of a lineage that's daring to challenge the status quo.
Now, shouts out to Jay that just checked in, and Stephanie made a point, and I'm going to read these together because they connect. Stephanie says, it's always different when it's black privilege. I'm here for the James, the Carters, the Sanders, run it up, Nepo babies. And we talked about that yesterday, Tasha, about black privilege and why that's so despised on both sides. I'm not even just putting this on white people. on both sides because two of the most disliked players in the culture are Shedeur Sanders and Bronny James because of their fathers. Why is that, Farrah? And I'm not even coming down your road on this.
No. I get it. I mean, I pick on Bronny. I do. Shit. I mean, but the kid, he's there. You know what I mean? And we can use our angle, use it. We don't get many of them. But I just honestly don't think that they're going to let this. They don't like this. What are we going to do? Let Deion be an owner at some point? Then you got a kid that's bigger than your whole entire program. You bring him in as a backup. Nobody's going to listen. He's too big of a persona. They don't want it. Then you got to take it back.
That's a great point.
But this another thing, they don't care if you're one of those get it out the mud babies. They want you to succeed. The hate is coming because they are affluent.
Jay just said it, and shouts out to my DJ. He says that's the student making more money than the teacher. The still ain't having that. The still ain't having that. Like you can't even starve out Shedeur Sanders. His father's worth $300-400 million. Like he don't have to play, but it's one of those things where let's stay with hold on, Jody. I have been screaming this since I seen that pick come in. There's no way Hunter Dickinson, aka Dylan Gabriel, is better than Deion Sanders.
Ladies, since Paul was looking at cake, ladies, there goes something for us. They just finished. Y'all ain't coming down here. Y'all ain't coming down this way, sis. Yo,
you said cakes. We don't want to see no damn burritos. Turn that camera back around.
I about lost it when Gabriel went. He was shocked. He was like, "Oh shit, me."
When I woke up this morning and saw that, I was reading like the draft, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" I was like, "Wait a minute." I said, "Ain't that dude from Oregon?" And I was like, "Wait a minute."
You mean from Oregon, from Hawaii, from Oklahoma? He played at
Alabama. Everywhere.
Come on, he played for
he's one of those. Yeah, he's one of those that has been to like 6 or 7 schools too.
And I'm paying attention to old boy from Alabama getting drafted. He's not gonna be a quarterback. He might be turned to a running back, slot something.
Into a linebacker.
Yeah, he's not gonna be a quarterback.
Tasha, did you watch that bowl game against Michigan? He was god awful. Look at the bowl game against Michigan 2 years ago.
But he's an NFL caliber quarterback that Shedeur is not.
But here's what Langston is saying. There's no confusing this issue. This is take the black bull and emasculate him. I saw the word buck breaking.
Exactly. Buck breaking. That is what they're trying to do. Exactly. Way to go, Langston.
This is buck breaking, and we're gonna just keep it real today. Like let's not hide behind buzzwords. Let's just keep it real. And that people, it's the same thing with Nico Iamaleava. People love to, now, whether you agree or disagree, because me and Tasha both agreed that his play did not warrant a pay raise, but people love to see him make less money, though. It was like, that ought to show your greedy black ass. Like, you take what we give you and you be happy with it, and you go sit your ass down somewhere. No, breathe. Breathe.
But think about it. They never thought we were smart enough to be able to be a quarterback. They never thought that, certain things. And I just think that Deion and them are breaking. They let us in, but so far, okay, we gave you a couple quarterbacks. We gave you a couple coaches. Y'all asking for too much. Deion will take this whole thing over, okay? He will be an owner. You know what I mean? Jerry Dye, who you think is going to be front runner? I think that was the plan.
I think had LeBron not had the success with what is around him, Rich Paul, Mav Carter, he wouldn't even be able to talk about possibly owning a team in Las Vegas, which is something that he wants to do, put a team in Las Vegas and do ownership. If he didn't have that, Deion had more people like that around him, I think he would definitely be in the realm of possibly buying a team.
It's something. Go ahead, Farrah.
What are they going to do when Manning come out of Texas? Because right now, this is NFL has made themselves look real racist right now.
I don't know if you heard it.
It's the owners.
They're going to draft him in December. Damn a bowl game. They're going to draft him in December.
And we haven't seen him play in a meaningful game as a starter yet. But people are already calling him the second coming because of his last name. And the thing is, I'm not even crapping on Arch Manning. Like, I'm sure he'll be a great player, but we don't have that data yet. We have data on Shedeur Sanders. AP says it was supposed to be a public disgrace. And that's what it is.
All we did was see Arch run like Jalen Milroe.
Right. running for his damn life with people in the stands with paper sacks on their head. Didn't the coach from Indiana tell America to Google him? Isn't that was one of the reasons why I said that his ass didn't even need to be in the CFP, Jody. See, man, that's what I'm talking about, Jody.
Like, I'm gonna ask Jody one question. What color is he?
Okay, we're gonna move on that one because y'all know the answer to that. Melanie Taylor, right, Tasha? But us need to keep their pockets fat. How do we do that?
You support. You got to support. Like, but y'all know, like I said, Paul loves to get on here and tell people that I hate LeBron James. I don't hate LeBron James. I'm just not a LeBron James fan, but I'm gonna support everything that he does because look at where he came from. Just like I'm not a Beyonce fan, but I'm going to support what Beyonce does because look at what she's able to do.
You support
that's
P. Diddy too? I'm joking.
Right. Now, I'm going to read
the drag a bitch down the hallway and kick her while you holding your child together with your hand.
Take the water ball, that's all I'm saying.
Right. Now, let's stay with Dion for a second, and then I'm going to get to y'all's comments, I promise. I see them. They're good takes, but we do have a guest on, and I want to make sure that we get her takes in before she goes off on her show here following ours. Now, let's stick with Dion because I do want to give some balance to what we're saying here. There was, about 4 or 5 months ago, Deion Sanders went on in Ocho's nightcap, and they asked him about Shedeur Sanders and his draft prospect, and he said, "I'm gonna pull a Eli. I'm gonna pull a LeVar Ball." He was very arrogant. Now that was.
But was he joking?
Arrogant.
But was he joking?
I mean, he had to be joking because we see he didn't do that. He didn't do that.
Yeah, and he did go back and recant those words later on. A few weeks before the draft, he said he backed off those statements and said that wasn't what God's will for him was to get involved in the draft process. But I can say this as a human being, if us three are in the front office of an organization and we are a poverty team like the top 10 were, like the Titans, the Browns, need a quarterback, the Saints need a quarterback. And Dion went on there basically said that some of y'all, man, we ain't gonna touch y'all with a 10-foot pole. I could see myself saying, no, we're gonna pass on that. Because what if he's not bluffing? What if he does show us up and don't show up? Or he says, no, we don't think. Or do you think that? So do you think Dion could be held liable for any of this? Fair.
He's being held liable. They're blaming him. More or less, it's Dion than his arrogant ass son.
Tasha.
In the last I checked, Dion had a way better career than Arch Manning, but we know the difference. Archie Manning is the beloved grandpa that we took simply because he got his ass just driven into the ground when he was playing for the Saints. He became a media personality. He was the father of old Shucks himself, Peyton and Eli, and we just put him on a pedestal. But he's not in the Hall of Fame. Dion is in the Hall of Fame. If anybody has the right to go up and step and say, I don't want my son to play here, it is Deion Sanders. But he didn't do that.
Like, I have a problem with the double standard of wealth and influence and how they're perceived. We have a political climate, and I'm not about to go talk politics, but we have a political climate where billionaires are being lauded and given a free pass for whatever decisions they make. There's no fear of a billionaire coming in with no political experience and coming in and shaking up the core of the Constitution. There's no pushback. There's a yeah. But a billionaire athlete is black, and that's nepotism. Oh no, he's arrogant. No, let's show him. Let's not draft him. I have a problem with that, the double standard, because you can't stand on both sides of the same side of the fence. It's just impossible.
But we all know why.
Now
we want to get away from it, but no, he will not. Jody, I pray he get drafted. Like
Tasha,
at this point,
Farrah and Tasha, let me ask you this: is it better for him to be an undrafted free agent at this point, where he can kind of go pick and choose a situation rather than go the Brock Purdy route, where if you're a 7th round pick, you cut bait?
No, because then it's like, oh, he's out here begging for a team. So yeah, he's picking where he want to go. No.
My question is, do y'all think that any team will cut him? Do you think it's a possibility Shedeur will not play in the 2025 season?
There's a possibility.
Who? Go to the CFL, man. Let's start up a list.
That would be ridiculous. That would be going back 40 years to Warren Moon.
We'll take you up and Toronto with the Argonauts.
Your boy, with the Cowboys, he was talking about going to the CFL. But Jerry just let him sit back there and ride.
Now, Stephanie makes a good point as far as Shedeur. The internet, black Twitter, all of that together, they love calamity and drama. If he had gotten picked in the top 3, we'd still have worn him out. I agree with that. Deborah Donaldson, good morning, checking in. She says, white people can do what they, back to slavery, they still got their foot on our neck, but let's keep going. You got to keep going.
Yeah.
Like Shedeur, whatever happens today, you got to keep going. You just got to go show up and show out. Let me throw some names out there to you.
Y'all, I'm cold. Shit.
Well, don't show your nickels now. We don't want your nickels poking out. Let's
stop, drop the boom, let me rub your nipples.
So, Farrah, we got Dak Prescott, we got Brock Purdy, we got Tom Brady. We have people who are now making hundreds of millions of dollars in the NFL that was drafted on day 3 of the NFL. Do you see this being a story for Shedeur?
No. And you got to think about those stories you do. Everyone you just said, they weren't predicted to go in the first round.
There you go.
They were just they were people who just got drafted, and fundamentally we made them a superstar. We made them who they are, or they made themselves who they are by their hard work. It can come from anywhere. You know what I mean? I think of my nephew who went to Southern. He's so small, he couldn't get into the D1 school, went to Southern. NFL would take him, and now he leads in the CFL in interceptions every single season. Last 8, he has a Super Bowl over there. It's just about your hard work and what you put in. Them dumb players, they never had a chance no way, but they just made a prolific career. They had it in them. So no, you can't compare this. He deserves this. They know he deserved it. That's why it's such a big debacle.
Right. Now, shouts out to ER on YouTube. Make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe and follow us there. He says, I think it has a lot to do with what the Mannings did with Eli, and the Sanders family is so brash with flaunting. To Farrah's point, they know the guy can play. It's about sending a message, and the message has been sent loud and clear.
Yeah.
Like it's been, and I agree with you. I agree with you. It has been. It's loud and clear. Stiana, I was wondering the same thing, Farrah. Farrah, okay, you in here, you cooking. All right, you wide awake. Them cakes was looking nice. Hey, them was some cakes though.
Yeah.
It was some cakes, some culture boys. We know cakes when we see them.
But I couldn't have the little young fellas walk down my way. Okay. It's a double standard.
Coffee. Let me get a sip of coffee. Coffee and cakes, Farrah. Coffee.
And I'm out of tea.
Don't.
I'm out of tea. I ain't got no tea.
Now, Jody says he will take the high road and explain that it's God's plan. Shedeur, if you never had a fan in me before, damn it, you got a fan in me.
You got one now. You got one now.
You got it. Now, I want you to be the next Brock Purdy. Let's take it from Mr. Irrelevant to a $55 million deal and a Super Bowl appearance. And he did it with zero fanfare. Brock Purdy, just to Farrah's point, came in and got to work. Now, Shedeur, this ain't going to work right now, buddy. This is Uncle Pete talking to you. This ain't gonna work right now. Even John Morant stopped doing the explosion when the playoffs started. You know, John Morant had to. Well, he did.
They also get their ass beat by 40 points a night. So
no, they was up by 30 points until they clipped my boy out the air with a dirty ass play, Lou Dort. Your days is numbered, you black bastard.
I'm about 3 hours from Memphis. You want me to drive down there?
I got smoke for that because Jaw was on their ass. He was about to dunk on that fool, and they knocked him out the air. Jody, I'm sorry about that while you got God's plan and the praying emojis up. I'm sorry about that. But I warned y'all I was going to be on one. Yeah, and I'm sober today. This ain't the drinks talking. Tasha, I told you we weren't going to get out of this segment today.
I ain't even been in the garage. I can't. I'm frustrated.
Right. Now, Langston says, look at the Sanders family. LeBron family movement was more threatening and impactful than we thought to white America. They both had Black America rethinking what we are capable of. Let's pause right there. Pause. That gave me goosebumps.
Go ahead. Now you
I'm looking at a young Black woman in the bottom of our screen that is an entrepreneur, that is a homeowner in Prosper, Texas, where Deion Sanders resides.
And when we say home, y'all, we mean a Oh,
we have another black woman on the set
oh,
who moved out of the country and made a whole new life for herself, who's traveling the
That
world,
part.
who's doing her thing, who's living her truth, who's raised a daughter, got her out of college educated. Just like I'm saying, this is what we are capable of. This screen, what you see right here. Look, I had a 40-inch TV that my mama gave me, $2,000 in my checking account, and a hamper full of clothes when I moved to Texas. Made it work. Like anything is possible. Jody, don't get like I'm not doing this again this week, Farrah. I'm not doing it again this week. I'm not doing it.
I mean, but y'all, I can attest to this to Paul. Y'all don't know what a leap of faith Paul took to do that. So, like, Paul and I have these big discussions a lot about where we are. And, sometimes we all sit back and think about what could have been or is my life enough? But we think about where we came from. Paul, that took a lot of courage for you to do what you did. And a lot of people don't understand that because y'all know Paul don't do nothing. So for him to move miles away from his entire family by himself and meet people like Farrah, meet people like Mike, just like our buddy Carlos up there in heaven, Drew. Well, we kind of knew Drew, but still meeting people that that came there and came together for you. That's a big step.
Yeah, and we're gonna come together for Shedeur as we tie this back in. And Farrah, that was a destiny meeting. You taking them smoke breaks at the job, and my desk just happened to be by the elevator. And you seeing me in my Titans gear crying on Mondays after they done let me down again.
And that is very true because I would never have a podcast. If I had never worked at that place, I would not have a podcast because I didn't know you.
You cooking now, Farrah. You cooking.
God put you in places, and He's gonna put Shedeur in the right place,
right?
In the right time. And I think Shedeur understands that. I think he's been grounded and raised enough to understand that.
If there was a slither of arrogance, because I'm not going to totally rule that out because I haven't spent any time around him personally. If there was any slither of arrogance, the Lord will send you to that crushing place before He elevates you. Maybe He just wanted to squeeze that last little. If you had any in there, just trust His will, Shedeur. Because if there was any arrogance there, it can't be there now. The whole world is watching you drop.
It is, but I'm going to leave you guys because
all right, Farrah, hey, tell us where to find you here in a minute.
Oh man,
drop your link, Farrah.
I know. I don't know if I can. Yeah, I can't comment on here. I got to join the chat or something. I don't know.
Get back in the chat. Now you get out of here and get ready for your show. Tell TT we coming for him in the comments. So, a round of applause to Farrah, Tasha. This has been good stuff. Now, Bronny James was doing good. He's developing into something every time Bronny step on the court. I'm rooting for him. And Shedeur, I think that's a great template to draw from because Bronny, yes, he was a Nepo baby. Yes, he got the chance to play in the NBA because of his father. All of that is true. Tasha told no lies when she said that. The one thing I will applaud him for, though, was there was no this. There was no I'm doing it for my haters. There was no I told you so's after decent games in the G League. There was none of that. Right. Head down, working.
He just went out there. He's doing what he needs to do because he knows the first mistake he makes, everybody's gonna tear his ass up. So that's why he's quiet.
Jody, you said the fall of an athlete makes some people realize different. Oh wow, that's deep. Like, come on back down here. Is that crab in the barrel? Come on back down here because we've all been there. We've all had the highs and lows in our lifetime. That's great stuff. Jody, make sure you drop your link in there as well, man. Let's continue to grow and cross-pollinate. Against the Grain is a fantastic show. They're on every single day, and they always bring that fire. AP Cole, to tell them I'm still dealing with that same stay in your place mentality after 34 years. It's still disgusting and tiring. But you know what, though, Mama? That Masters on your wall says that you didn't give a damn about the opposition or the ops. Can I say ops? Am I young enough to say ops? I can say ops. Okay. All right. Good morning, Miss Hastings. She does. But we're gonna let that slide today. We're gonna let that slide today. Jody, Archie Manning never had a season better than 8-8, has 0 playoff games, but he is royal.
He's football royalty. Like I said, he ain't got no gold jacket. Only gold he wore was that old gold down there on the Saints. And if they had real grass, it would have been tarnished with grass stains.
That is very true. They may draft him in the 7th pick. Tasha, is that would that be the ultimate slap in the face? Is that worse than getting not getting drafted?
It is a slap in the face. But the thing is, even if they drafted him the first pick coming up in a few minutes, they're still told him he's irrelevant. You and your family are irrelevant. What your father did on the field, his gold jacket, that your family name don't mean buck to stuff.
Right. Hell, our president is arrogant and entitled. That makes people feel small. Hell, with off the field issues, and that's why he's still beloved. The 78 million people didn't have a problem with his arrogance.
Right. But you got 32 motherfuckers that got a problem with Shedeur's arrogance.
Tasha, we're seeing a recurring theme of Mr. Irrelevant going in. I think that would be worse than not getting drafted at all. Because if you don't get drafted at all, we can definitely say it was collusion. But if you take him in the
but they're already telling him he's irrelevant. What did Evelyn say? Lozada say on a basketball wise, you're a non-motherfucking factor. They've already told him that, so it really doesn't matter. What he's going to have to do, wherever he gets drafted, picked, undrafted free agent, whatever, he's going to have to go out there and prove himself. You may have to tone down some of the jury, but then you're not being yourself if you do that. You're playing into their game. You're changing yourself to make yourself what they want you to be.
Shouts out to L that's checking in on YouTube. No, we don't have a call in, but I want to make sure your point gets out there. He says, pull Shedeur out of the draft. Say, why put him in a league that doesn't respect him? Control the optics and turn him into a symbol, not just a player. That worked for Colin Kaepernick. And shouts out to the taper fade. He cleaned up over there. Look like he cleaned up over there. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe, man. Thank you for chiming in. Tasha, he is now a symbol. That is without question. Now, do you think this is going to be a Kaepernick situation to where he's really blackballed out of the league? You think it will get to that level?
I mean, I don't think it would get to that level because at that point, could you file a lawsuit against somebody when you're not even in that league?
Okay.
So. Like Colin Kaepernick rose to greater fame because when Nike took over, Nike had that campaign where they were selling black number 7 jerseys, and you could not find them anywhere.
Right.
Nike stood behind him, and they still stand behind him.
Right.
I mean, Shedeur has a lot of endorsements already. That goes to show you too the amount of endorsements he has. That's how we know that it's something going on. He already has endorsements from Gatorade. Nike already has his dollar sign and for the 2 legendaries. They already have that stuff branded for him.
Now, L says he ain't going to get drafted. And I feel like that after last night. I don't think he's going to get drafted, Tasha.
They made a decision?
I don't think, because the early to Jay's point earlier, it's a shield. And the shield will break your ass down. Ask Colin Kaepernick. Ask him. And there was a point to where he tried to get back in the league. They was like, "Nah, man, you pick the side, you stay over there."
But y'all pulling Joe Flacco up off his dusty ass couch.
Who was more brash and troublesome than Johnny Football, Tasha?
Baker Mayfield, the starting quarterback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
But he can do the Dougie. He can run from the police. That's right. Police catch you, put a whooping to your backside. Hey, YouTube is checking in. We got Landon Price says HBCUs have to respond on this. 6 Colorado players only got 1 drafted, which is the Heisman Trophy.
I'm live podcasting. Say hi to them people. There's somebody down here, guys, working. He's just saying hi.
All right. Good morning, sir. Landon Price checking in. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe on YouTube. Shouts out to the YouTube love today. He says HBCUs have to respond on this. 6 Colorado players only got 1 drafted, and no HBCU players this year neither. Come on, man. They
haven't even taken Jimmy Horn Jr. yet.
Horn Jr. is not drafted.
Oh, yeah. This is definitely a Dion thing. They couldn't deny Travis. You couldn't deny Travis. Oh, this is a Dion thing. Because Jimmy Horn Jr. ran. Hunter.
It ain't what?
Sanders, but I'm talking about the other players.
Right.
Jimmy Horn Jr. Why is Jimmy Horn Jr. not drafted? That man, he ran damn near 4-2.
Right. That kid was special. Dion is about to kamikaze the NFL. He knows it's over the normal way. He knows they blackballed his son. I can't wait to hear Dion, and I kind of don't want him. I don't you can't say anything before Shedeur has a landing spot because ultimately you want him in the NFL. But I like. Here's the word. He knows they humiliated his family in front of the entire country, the entire world now.
The entire world.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
I mean, they talking more about this than they talking about the Pope's funeral.
This is. Can you sue for collusion, though, Tasha? I don't know.
That's what I was saying. But that's what I was saying. Can you sue if you're not in the league? You can't sue them for collusion if he's not already there because he's not technically not an employee of the NFL.
Will this play into the off season and as we ramp up for the 2025-2026 NFL season? Because L says second string backup at best, no endorsements, no respect, always blame, no matter how good he plays. Every mistake is going to be magnified. So is this just the beginning?
It is. It is. This is just the beginning. And this is why I say with these players, get all the money you can from these motherfucking homes. Get y'all bread. Break the bank. You got not Dalvin Cook. What's his brother's name? James Cook. He's holding out for Buffalo because he wants some more money. Now, true enough, this is a running back. You can get him a dime a dozen. This may not be the time, but I applaud him for holding out. Get all y'all bread while y'all can.
Right, and that's why I was Team Nico Iamaleava, because I'm like, the closed mouths don't get fed, and if this can happen to Shedeur, it can happen to you because they're already
these owners are out here are billionaires. I got a video for you. I drove over the bridge and saw the new Titan Stadium being built. Buffalo's getting a brand new stadium built. We the fans and the players are the ones that's putting the money into the pockets of these owners. And then this is what they do to a child who is obviously talented enough to play in their league.
I'm going to put on my tinfoil hat with L. And great point by you, Tasha. He says, and now the NFL quietly told them teams, to Stephanie's point, that memo, go to Deion and you'll end up stuck just like Shedeur. Like this mounting pressure now. So I don't want to be the one that goes against all these other GMs and owners, and the one that bucks the system and takes Shedeur. Even if now the investment is, we're talking hundreds of $1,000s, not millions of dollars, a 4th, 5th, 6th round pick.
I'm sorry, ain't no cake.
If it ain't no cakes, and I don't want to see it. Okay, so D says he's responding to L. I think they will give him a fair shot. It's about humbling. I agree with some of the things that's going on. Let's be honest. How do you retire his number after 2 years? That's part of it as well. I think that the timing of that was terrible, Deion. Like that wasn't.
He deserved it. Ain't no way in hell he deserved his number to be retired. And I said that last week.
Yeah, that
no
was
way in hell.
When we're in the booth, we got to tell the truth. That was arrogant, and I think that was poorly played, and it was horrible timing on that.
I mean, and I still think it was horrible timing for Travis Hunters too. I mean, even though he won the Heisman, it's not time to be retiring their numbers after one full season. Well,
right.
2 full seasons.
Right.
And it goes football for them.
Right, and it goes back to my point about the respect and the lineage with Cam Ward and being a little more careful with his words. Cordell needed to be there first. Cordell needs to be there. If Shedeur is going to have his jersey retired, you got to do Cordell first, and then work your way to Shedeur, because come on, man, that's ridiculous. We love you, Martrice. Thank you. Let's see. He says, I am officially retired since January because of mama. Parents, be fearless when it comes to your child's future. That's what, like, don't let this shrink you, parents. Langston, we're gonna land the plane right there. Don't let this shrink you. Sasha, we know what stock you come from. Don't let this shrink you. Stephanie, we already know you. Don't let what's happening with Deion and Shedeur shrink you from telling your kids to be the biggest, best, most confident person. I mean, as long as you're respectful and you're doing your job to the best of your abilities, I want you to succeed. Make sure you join Farrah for our take right after the podcast. All right. Yes, last pick. They hate Dominique Major checking in. Shouts out to YouTube checking in today. Make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe. Tasha, who are you shouting out today? And yes, Deion.
I had to shout out, but then I started going off on people so much. But I think I did. I shouted out on Thursday. Shouted out my mom. Her birthday was yesterday. Yes. I'm shouting out all the runners out here who are running, walking, finishing the race. I did have a shout out, but start talking. Maybe it'll come back to my head.
I want to tell L, we don't have a call in, but L, Next week, I'm gonna drop the link into the comments, and if you ever want to jump on, man, just jump on. Like you can use FCC regulated cuss words, but we're a Saturday morning show, so we stay away from certain ones. But damn, shit, hell, bastard, all those work.
And I kind of went off today, but
today was a different day because I'm on one today. But thank y'all. Now he says Horn will get drafted. He's got to get drafted. Nicholas Sawyer's checking in.
Hey Nick.
Yeah, so L, make sure you come back next week because hey, we're an equal opportunity. Come on here and jump. Make sure you got your tape of fade so we can get you promoted properly and all that kind of stuff. Stephanie, I agree. Black parents, like they coming in so fast, Tasha. It's hard to get out of this. Black parents have been making it happen against all odds, Tasha. You got a college educated daughter. You college educated, retired military, done made it happen in 2 countries. Girl right there. You wanted your ass whooped? Do something to this one right here. And this ass whooping time. AP is gonna land here. Just be your best in spite of Go Blue. And we're gonna land it there. Go Blue. Tasha, go enjoy your marathon. L, like, subscribe, come back next week. Hit us up in the chat and let's get your information and jump you on there. We're always looking for some new voices, and you made some great points today. Can't wait to talk to you. This should fuel your fire. Young kings and queens, time to cook. Time to cook, y'all. We'll see y'all next week. Go Blue. Peace. Go. Shedeur. All right. Goon Squad. Yeah. Goon Squad, y'all showed out today. This was legendary. Speaking of Shedeur, legendary. Peace.